Hey everybody. I'm really excited today to be talking about healing from eczema with my friend Judith, whom I've just recently exchanged some really nice conversations with. And she has an incredible transformation, so I'm really excited to be having her on here so that she can share about her journey and her experience. And I believe she's joined, so I'm just going to invite her and see if she can come on. Let's see. Can you guys hear me well, by the way? Can you just type in the chat if you can hear me? I'll wait for some people to join as well. Hi, Jenny. Hello.
Hi Ezra.
Hi, Judith. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good. I'm having a great start to my day. And
That's
you're
good.
based in South Africa, I believe, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Where?
I'm in here in South Africa. I'm from Pretoria. I don't know if you've been to South Africa before.
I haven't, no. I have a
That's
lot
a,
of friends from South Africa, but they always say like the most gorgeous place. It's on my bucket list. I really want to go there.
yes, the weather is amazing. You would love it. It's
Mm,
just gorgeous weather, and not such a cold winter like in Europe.
yeah, true.
So
Did you
yes,
live in
yes,
Europe
it's
before?
yes. Actually, I was born in Hungary, so I'm
Okay.
Hungarian and I'm South African. So I've
Okay,
got
perfect.
two citizenships. Yeah. So at 16 we moved to South Africa. So and recently we moved back to Hungary for about 8 months. But we moved back because we actually like it here better.
Yeah,
It's much better weather
yeah, I was
and
gonna
so on.
say the North. Yeah, I lived in the Netherlands for 3 years and I love it during the summers. It's absolutely amazing when the sun comes out, but during the winters, oh, it's just so long. And sustaining this lifestyle also with fruits and vegetables
Mm.
and all the raw living nutrition, I just get more compelled to moving somewhere where the sun is more present.
And
So
in
I also moved.
Turkey, yeah,
Yeah, I'm
you
in
moved
Turkey
there.
right now.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay. So you're
uh,
not Turkish originally.
I am Turkish. I am. So
Okay.
my family, like we're Turkish by blood, but I lived in, different parts of the world my whole life. So I wasn't really growing up in Turkey for the most part.
Okay.
So I guess I'm Turkish, but not really. It's both ways.
You're
Yeah.
multinational.
Yeah, I'm multinational, I guess. Yeah, we can say
But I
that.
was actually saying to my husband as well that your English is perfect. And I was expecting you to have some accent, but then I realized, oh, well, you're from Turkey. That's why I didn't realize that you're not originally English.
Yeah. So
Yes.
if you've ever been, I don't know if you've ever been to Turkey,
Not
but
yet. Not yet. I would love to
definitely
go.
should
Yes.
visit for sure, by the way. If you do visit, let me
Yes.
know. But Turkey is absolutely beautiful. I'm here right now in the southwestern coast, like coastal region. We get a lot of sun here. And if you come here, you'll definitely notice a lot of people like have, when they speak English, there's quite a heavy accent.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so, but I went to an American school when I was growing up, so I kind of picked up like an Americanish accent, I guess.
Yes.
So that's where that comes from. Um,
Awesome.
but
Awesome.
Judith, I'm really, really excited to talk to you today because we exchanged a couple of messages on Instagram and you kind of told me about your transformation and your before and after looks absolutely incredible. So you've lost 10 kilos. You were dealing with skin breakouts and eczema before. And I'm just really curious also for our audience, like there are a lot of people out there that are suffering from eczema right now, suffering from skin conditions, maybe wanting to lose a lot of weight and don't know how to get into it. And I think you're an amazing beacon of inspiration for those people. So I'd love to hear from you about you, first of all. Maybe just give us a quick introduction and tell us a little bit about your healing journey and how that rolled out for you.
Yes, yes. As I mentioned, already said, I'm from South Africa, and I actually had my daughter when I was in 2011, and my skin problem started after I had my daughter. Beforehand, I always had a sensitive skin, as a child. It's sort of like you also have a bit of a genetic predisposition, to have certain conditions, maybe coming from your family, but it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to have those issues. If you've got a healthy body, then those issues won't come to the surface. And, oh, sorry, I accidentally moved. I'm still new to this. You can please excuse my, okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, and,
nothing too.
okay, good. What happened is after I had my daughter, my skin, especially my hands, started breaking out, and it started spreading all over my body. So the whole eczema just spread all over my body. And when I went to the doctor, they've given me cortisone to use, like they usually do, topical steroids. And that caused me to I even had it worse afterwards. Like it's gotten worse and worse because it sort of like makes you more addicted to the actual chemicals. Your skin almost like becomes addicted, and the cortisone is not the best thing to use. It's quite dangerous for you actually, unless it's a life and death situation. Yes, and it just gotten worse and worse. And what happened is I just started having my body swollen up, and also my hair started falling out. So we had to move in with my parents. So I almost died from the whole, experience of, my body's going into this detox, or I'm not even sure what it was. It gotten sick after the birth. And I didn't know how to heal it. So I started looking at different alternative modalities as well. And every now and then I would use, an alternate cream or something that doesn't have medicine in it, just some herbal creams. But none of them really seemed to help. It wouldn't heal me. It would give me a relief, because how eczema is. People that don't have eczema, they don't understand. It's like 1,000 ants crawling on you. It's just horrible. It's like the worst feeling ever. People think, it just looks like your skin is red, but it's not like that at all. It's very painful. And when it's oozing, when it's cracking up, then you're trying to wash your hand, or you're trying to prepare something in the kitchen. So I just learned to use gloves. I don't know how serious your eczema was, but yeah, mine was very bad. So over the years, the past 11 years, I tried to manage it. I was allergic I eat something, then I would get a breakout, then I don't know why I'm getting a breakout. Then I stopped eating gluten and all of these different things, that's in the food. You think that's what you're allergic to, or the next thing that comes along, or dust or anything like that. And then what happened is I became a vegan vegetarian in 2019, on and off. And then last year, beginning of last year, I just tasted some green juice, and I really, really loved it. It's like the first time you taste the juice, you think it's going to taste horrible, and it's like amazing. Then I decided I'm going to buy a juicer, and I'm just going to juice for myself, just to save money, not buying the juice. And I just loved it, and it came with a book, to juice fast, lose weight for use it for 7 days, like to juice, and then you lose weight. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to go for it, and I did juicing for 3 days only, because I couldn't actually do it more. It's quite tough, to do actually a juice fast. You have to have mentally, you have to be prepared for it.
Yeah.
And then I realized how amazing I felt after the 3-day juice feast, as some people call it on the internet. And then I decided, this is something that I must pursue. And then I started just juicing in the morning. I still ate vegan, vegetarian dishes on the afternoon. So I would have 2 juices and then have the normal dishes. And then I was actually starting to really, I started to detox. And my skin was getting all of a sudden temporarily worse because now all of this stuff coming out of your skin and you're healing your intestines. But then, at the beginning, the first couple of months, and I realized that I can't just go on and off, eating raw. And then afterwards, let's say I would eat a lot of fruit in the morning and I would still have cooked food on the afternoon. And then I realized my higher self, my intuition was telling me, I must eat more raw. I must eat more raw. That's what I kept on hearing in my head. It felt like it was in my head. Then I decided, you know what, I give in and I really want to heal from this eczema. I don't have anything to lose. I will just try it, how I feel afterwards. So I just totally went fully raw and I started eating. I watched a lot of fully raw Christina, Mimi Kirk, and I found them on the internet, they're kind of like the big gurus, and there's a couple of other people, but I found them at the beginning, and Dr. Morse, and and then every time I felt discouraged when I started detoxing, because at the beginning I had quite a lot of detoxing. Not everybody experienced it. Is it like that? It's just because my skin was really bad and I think my body wasn't very healthy, And so I went through a lot of detoxing and I didn't have any change in my body for 2 months. My skin didn't clear up, nothing. So I was thinking, 2 months I've been eating raw.
Yeah.
What's happening? And all of a sudden after 2 months, it started clearing up. And then I hit the 6 months mark. Then it got much better. Then, it still went into this little cycle of having skin breakouts, then it would go away. Then skin breakouts, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry to make it such a long story, but I'm kind of, including all the things that I did as well.
Yeah.
And what I found is that when I ate a lot of berries at the beginning and grapes, it was a worse detox. So my skin would break out more because I was really unhealthy and everything wanted to come out, heal your body and get rid of all the toxins. So what I did is I tried not to, when I felt like, I'm getting a breakout again while I'm detoxing, I just cut it down a little bit. I didn't eat so much berries. I didn't eat so much grapes. I just had more greens just to slow down the process a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. That's I just wanted to share that initial. And I think by months then, I reached a stage where I can say that my skin healed. Mm-hmm. So it took me about 10 months to a year, to really feel good. A lot of my other health problems went away as well, like low back pain. I can do yoga, like all the difficult positions I never used to be able to do. And yes, that's it. So you can ask me some more questions if you like.
No, isn't it just so interesting that, maybe you started with the intention of healing your eczema or healing like one specific condition in your body, but then when you did start to incorporate juicing and when you did start to incorporate these raw living foods and just switching to more of an anti-acidic, anti-inflammatory diet, everything else in your body started to come back to balance, right? And maybe that's when things start to click in. I mean, from my personal journey, I can also say like that's when things started to click in my mind, even when I saw the detox symptoms, and I felt like maybe what I was doing wasn't working. The other side of that was like, okay, but I've already seen so much progress in other areas of my health. Like I don't get sick anymore. Like I feel so much more energized. I don't rely on coffee to like wake me up in the morning anymore. There must be something that I'm doing right, and maybe it's just taking time. And I think that we're just so used to like the take a pill and forget about it approach, like not taking responsibility and just taking something that won't allow you to take any responsibility aside from taking that pill or putting on that cream on your eczema perhaps. That we get so wired for instant gratification, what I mean? That it's just so that's the most challenging part, I feel, is just like undoing that programming. And allowing ourselves to kind of realize that maybe this is decades of damage that we're undoing in our body, and we can't always expect it to heal in 30 days or 60 days, or, you know, it might as well do that, but, you know, chances are that your whole body healing is going to take much longer than that. So thank you so much for diving into a lot of detail on that, because I think a lot of people do need to hear that and realize that, you know, this isn't something that is a quick fix. Most of the time, it's not like the take a pill and sleep over and, you know, it'll get better in the morning type of thing. Like it really does require a lot of self-love and perseverance and commitment to yourself and to your healing, you know. But on the other side of that is just something better than you could ever imagine. And I think you're experiencing that right now. Like when you kind of look back on your past and you reflect, maybe you're thinking like, I'm so glad that the previous Judith, like in the past, my past self, went through all of that to get to where I am today. Does that relate to you in any way?
Of course, it makes perfect sense. And I think sometimes it's almost weird to me. I have to reprogram my mind. It's almost like I don't have those reactions where I'm waiting for my skin to feel sick again. You know, like, oh, when is it gonna itch? Oh, I actually realized, you know, I wake up and it's been a week that I haven't felt itchiness like I used to feel all the time from anything I ate. It's such a freeing experience, and you have to almost like rewire yourself, you know?
You're not expecting it anymore.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful, Judah. I love to hear, and I love to see more and more people kind of waking up to this. And you mentioned also like what kind of got you into this was juicing. You did a 3-day juice cleanse and you felt really good in those 3 days, regardless of how challenging it was. In what ways did you feel in just those 3 days, in what ways did you feel your health already start improving and starting to feel good? Like, what were those specific things that made you feel like, okay, there's something in this that's probably healing me?
What was the most amazing feeling is that my mind was 100% clear, and I would dream vividly. I know you hear that a lot. Actually, a lot of people say that when they do the juice cleanse. I'm not really copying what they're saying. I really did experience that. And it's very tough because it's almost like, I would say, people have to stay at home just to do the juice cleanse because you don't know what's going to come up. Sometimes some things will come up that you need to work on. And I find that since I'm a fully raw vegan, so I don't eat any cooked food, except every now and then I tasted once or twice, you know, as all of us, we're human beings. My mind is absolutely clear. I don't drink coffee. I haven't drank coffee for a year. I haven't drank alcohol for a year. I wake up when the birds wake up. I almost like waiting for the birds to chirp, you know, and people don't understand. You don't actually need coffee to wake up. It's like just it's almost like a culture. Our society is dictating that they link food to socializing. So you're gonna meet for coffee with your friends, or you know, you have to also rethink that. That's also a big aspect for me. That was a big change that you have to realize when you go out in a restaurant. You know, you might not actually eat something, you know, unless it's something that you find on the menu that you can eat. So it's a lot of things, like you always have to be prepared. Those are the challenges. So I'm always prepared. If you go play mini golf with the family, I will just pack a little bag for myself, you know, like even a small salad and just some snacks, just to prepare myself. And yes, and also about the socializing aspect. I wanted to ask you, how did it change your life? Because you're still very young, much younger than I am, and I'm sure that even affected your social life even more.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I did struggle with it in the beginning, so I think adjusting to this lifestyle on its own does have its challenges, definitely and undeniably. There are a lot of temptations, you know, like you're at a fork in the road, so to speak. You have to choose between what it is that makes you feel good temporarily and what it is that's in the long run going to make you feel good and thrive and be healthy. And I think planning ahead, like you said, like kind of committing to that, remembering your why, like all the mental side your commitment to the alternative, like to the longer term health and vitality. And of course, the social aspect is a big part of that as well. I could not do without preparing in advance because there are a lot of situations. Thankfully, I was working from home. I was working as a consultant, as a recruitment consultant in the Netherlands, and I had an office job, so to speak, but it was partially remote, so I could work from home. So that was a huge advantage because then I could, when I was doing my juicing, when I was fruits and all of that, it wasn't such a big deal. But of course, there were times where there were social events and gatherings at work and dinners and these kind of things. And, when you're the only one that's not eating or doesn't want to go or because of like all the food and stuff, it does get a little bit weird. So I've really found that one of the biggest aspects of this is just learning to embrace yourself, like embrace yourself fully and accept yourself fully. To the point where other people's judgments aren't are go on that, like they don't bother you, even if someone says something. And a lot of the times it's very imagined, like we feel like people are judging us, but they might just be curious and wondering, and if you don't want to like elaborate on it, maybe you're kind of missing on the opportunity to inspire them in a way that could be very possible. So a lot of self-love and a lot of internal work together with the physical healing, a lot of emotional work. Those are things that definitely got me through the social aspect of it. And I have struggled a lot with social anxiety previously. Like I always had this prominent fear that people were judging me, like I was just not worthy, like I don't know, it was just maybe
I had the same. I'm also like that. I wonder if it's linked to the skin. I don't mean it now to link everything to illnesses, but I think that maybe there is a correlation there. You know?
I think so.
Because that's like everybody sees that on the outside.
Yeah.
It's like you're reflecting that, and you know what people see.
Yeah.
It's your skin is your outer organ.
Yeah, that's a very intelligent observation, actually. Because as much as we do, when we talk about the physical, as much as we do say that every skin issue is related to some kind of dehydration or constipation in the body, I really think that dehydration or that constipation, the root cause of that, there's also a root cause of that, which is most of the time it's emotional, right? It's in your emotional body. If we were able to express ourselves with full love, like just pure love, which is essentially who we are, like our pure self is just love, then we wouldn't be doing things that would potentially be harming us, we wouldn't be putting things into our body, we wouldn't be sabotaging ourselves with things that aren't in our best interests, aligned with our highest good. So yeah, we're far from a perfect world right now, and I think we need to be accepting of that. But that's not to say that we can, of course, take responsibility and choose a better option at any time, and go for something that is in our best interest and is in our highest good. Thank you for asking that, by the way.
It's a pleasure.
That's a really, really, really key question. Yeah, I think a lot of people. Am I frozen for you, by the way? Oh no.
No, no. I think every now and then a little bit, but yeah, it's still good.
Okay.
Can I ask you another question?
That is a Of course. Let's go for it.
Sorry. Do you want to finish your thoughts? What you were talking about? A lot of people.
I was just gonna say a lot of people do have that concern when they come to this lifestyle, is like the social aspect of it. But thankfully it is a growing, like too many people are waking up to it now to not realize that there's a lot of truth in it.
I think the whole world is waking up because we are busy shifting because everything is now becoming a much higher frequency. So I think it's almost like this raw veganism. People think it's some extreme thing out there, but there's more and more people focusing on themselves, working on themselves, eating healthy. Everything is just going to that is going together. For me, everything is joined together with the whole, it's almost like not necessarily sending, but our frequency is higher and higher, and
Yeah.
that's why we need to eat lighter. Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, my question is,
Yes.
do you experience more synchronicity and increased psychic abilities like telepathy since you are a vegan?
I love this
I have to ask that.
question. I love this question because I agree with you that the spiritual aspect and the emotional aspect of healing is very much interlinked with the physical aspect of it. And our diet is related to so much, and it's related to everything. It really is. And I was just so mind blown to experience like so many revelations and so many spiritual awakenings just by changing my diet. And yes, I do. I especially, so I did a 100-day juice cleanse.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
Well
you.
done.
Yeah, I ended up doing a 100-day juice cleanse, and that juice cleanse transformed my life. Like it was just, it's, you know, people have this misconception that when you don't eat, you're gonna die. And I was scared going into a long-term juice cleanse like that because of this, you know, narrative around not eating. But then I was seeing a lot of other people doing it and how incredible they felt and all the amazing things that they've done and recovered from and healed their bodies. And it was like, I have to try this. It was just the most magical 100 days of my life. Like there were a lot of ups and downs, don't get me wrong. Like it was definitely a roller coaster of a journey. But in the moments where, you know, I felt like my body was cleansing, especially after I like had a big elimination, like of waste just coming out of my body afterwards, I just felt this relief, just kind of this burden coming off of my shoulders, getting out of my body. Like it just felt like I was lighter, like my frequency just rose, like you said, because that density just left my body, you know. And I just felt more and more connected to my intuition, more and more aware of everything that was going around me. I almost want to say it was like this, I got this antenna like on the top of my head, and I could start to feel people's emotions, people's energies, kind of what they were thinking. And I don't know if you're into like manifesting and just, you know, rewiring your thoughts to align with a reality that you want, but that almost became instant. Like the things I would think about, good and bad, like
synchronicity. So it immediately would appear like automatic, like not in like 10 days. It would appear like right now.
Exactly.
Yes.
You see it instantly. Like even if it's not exactly what you want, you see signs that it's gonna happen. And it's just like when you start to see those things, it becomes impossible to go back to the way things were, no matter how comfortable those cooked foods, like the more dense things are for you, you know. It's it's something that I really would like everyone to experience, everyone around me, because it's just indescribable by words. But definitely,
it's almost like you get addicted. Not addicted, I don't like to use that word because that's a negative word. I'm still trying to think of a better word to use, but it's almost like you get so feel that high feeling the whole time, or that high vibration, that it's almost like it's stopping you to eat something, because then it's gonna lower your vibration. Then you're not gonna have these visions or things coming to you. My thing is that I'm very intuitive, and I've always had a little bit of psychic ability, but now it's like tenfold. Yes, and sometimes it's challenging because I can feel people good intentions and also bad intentions. I don't know if you have that. And it's a bit sometimes uncomfortable when you start feeling the people's negative intentions, you know. Then you have to just, because that's also part of it, you know, when you raise the frequency, all the things that you see and feel is actually neutral. The universe makes it's actually neutral. We make it our belief system, changes it into positive or negative. So that's why.
Amazing observation. Yeah, it's our perception of it that makes it so, you know. Do you know the story of the Chinese farmer? Have you
No, you can tell me.
My friend Julia, she's here right now. She's also a health coach. She does a lot of weight loss coaching. And we were just talking about it and kind of like how our businesses are evolving, and sometimes things don't happen in the ways that we want it to. And she told me the other day about the story of a Chinese farmer, and I can't remember the exact sequence of events that happened to him right now, but basically, like when something bad happens to you, it could be because something better is going to happen to you. And you don't know that because you're limited, your perception of things is so limited, but life, like the universe, God, like whatever you want to call it, has such a broader vision, like is all seeing, can see everything, and has a plan that's really divinely placed for you. That's going to evolve better than you can imagine. So it's like going through the detox symptoms, like you said, like when you start drinking the juices, eating the fruits and the vegetables, you expect everything to be okay, like amazing, I'm doing all the good things, now I should experience the good things as well all of a sudden. But you get the opposite, because not because you're doing anything wrong, but that's what needs to happen. Like all of that stuff is otherwise like stuck in your cells, like your body's harboring it. It needs to come out so that you can experience that relief, so that you can get what you were wanting, what you're manifesting.
Remember that those are negative belief systems. So the universe, when you raise your frequency, those negative things will come up very quickly to the surface to show you these are the things that you must let go. These are the things that you must let go, so you can be at the high vibration all the time. That's what I believe in. And then that's why these negative things might come up, or you face with one of your challenges. But then the universe is showing you, just what's the worst that can happen? Just let it go, and then once you let it go, you realize it's not this big monster, it's this tiny little thing.
Yeah, we want it. Like, I think in the modern day we're just so very much like encapsulated in the physical realm that we just want to control everything. Like, we want to see how everything is going to turn out and make sure that everything is turning out exactly the way we've planned. But really, like, I think it's just about holding the vision that you have, like being dead set on that vision, whether that be healing your skin, losing weight, like whatever it might be, regaining your health. And then once you have that, really just seed planted in your mind and your mind's eye, like allow for the rest to come to fruition in the best way possible. Like, let go, because you can't control the journey there. Just trust the process,
you can't insist on how it's going to come to you. Like you said before, when all these things happen to you, it might not have been exactly how you imagined it's going to happen. It might actually happen in an even better way.
Yeah, better than you can.
Or faster, or
like, I was just my current client, she's kind of going through a bit of struggles, the emotional side of detox, and I think like she's kind of struggling with a lot of perfectionism at the moment, because she is wanting to kind of control everything that's happening, like what her kids are eating now that she's becoming aware of, everything that's might be poisoning her body, and detoxing all of that stuff. And I told her, like, you can only control a certain aspect of it, and like where you're going, like your vision, but then you really just need to allow for the rest to come into fruition in the best way possible. And it is going to come into fruition in the best way possible, so you can either choose to believe it and surrender and relax and just like like rest in the knowing that everything's working out better than ever, or you can torture yourself on the way there by not believing it, but it's going to happen either way. Like, so.
Exactly. And I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to quickly add something, because I exactly know what she's talking about, your client. My family is they're not vegans, they eat meat. I still have to cook for them dishes that they want to eat, because I, as a mom or wife, you also do your share, and I cannot enforce my what I'm convicted about. I don't think that's a loving thing, because even if I want to, I do offer sometimes, taste this, what I'm eating, taste that. You have to be very loving. But it's your journey, and that's the hardest. When you see, let's say my daughter is 12, so she wants to have also the junk food, and then I would make a deal with her, you know, just have it once a week, you know, or have chips once a week and not the whole week. Just
Yeah.
eat more vegetables at least, or, you know, but you can't block totally everything from there, because then they might turn against you in a way. And when they become 18 or 16, then they will just go crazy and eat all the, yeah, cooked food and everything and the processed food. So I think that we can't be that strict about it, because then it also affects the energy as well for me. You know, if we try to force our beliefs or our conviction on another person, so we can just be a good example. And a lot of people actually say, they look at me and they see what I'm eating and they look really interested. And I would just, would you like to taste it? Then I would give them a taste, like friends and family, or, you know, and then they, oh, wow, this is delicious, you know? So
Yeah.
that's the way I think to do it. That's my personal opinion, you know?
Yeah, yeah, like inspiring. You know, Michael Jackson has that song, you know, I'm starting with the man in the
Yeah,
mirror.
yeah,
Um, that's literally all we can control. Like we can't control anything else
yeah.
before we control our internal state of being and how we're showing up in the world. And if these things are coming into our awareness as flaws, as like the things that people are eating not being optimal or ideal for their body, if they're coming into our awareness and specifically into our awareness as flaws and something that's imperfect, that's something that always we need to work in within ourselves. And I think
Mm.
that is the hardest part, because our ego, like there's this kind of
Mm.
shell that wants to go there and be like, no, don't eat that. That's
Yeah.
bad for you. Because that's your ego. That's
Yeah,
you're trying to protect you, and other people have that towards you as well. When you're, you know, trying to get healthier, they're
yeah.
like, what are you doing? That's unfamiliar. That's scary. Don't do that. Like they
Yes.
get kind of, you know,
Remember, when they see that you're eating healthy, then it's we are their mirror reflection. So we're reflecting things to them that they need to change in their life. So that's why they get triggered maybe. And a lot of times it's not because that anger or negative energy is directed to you. It's directed towards themselves actually. So I learned to just relax, and when people look at my food and they think I'm the biggest weird or whatever, you know, eating weird food, or take, you know, like a huge piece of watermelon or in a bowl and I would eat the watermelon. Or so people always
yeah,
look at you funny, you know, but you need to
yeah,
learn to also, it's number one priority is me. It should always be you.
exactly. Exactly. Yes, exactly. I love that you just touched on that. Like we can only show up in other areas of our
Uh,
life to the
Sorry, I just
extent that,
wanted to say, somebody wanted to, I think, ask a question when you
yeah,
finished your point. Maybe we can take the question from somebody. I don't know
yeah,
if they,
guys.
if there's any
Yes, anyone
questions.
viewing, yeah, if you guys have any questions
Yes.
about how to heal eczema, how Judith did it, eating fruits and, you know, managing social situations, eating raw foods and managing social situations, or any aspect that you're curious about, please feel free and we can have a quick discussion on it, elaborate on it, talk about experiences. Um, yeah, good point, Judith. But
Sorry
yeah,
to
you're,
interrupt your thought pattern. If you still remember what
no,
you wanted to share,
um,
please share.
yeah, no, the example you were sharing me just pulled up such a distinct memory in my mind, because this one day we had an event at work where everyone just brought in their food, and everyone made like traditional cooked um, like for their nationality, they
Yeah.
brought like someone who was Turkish would bring like a Turkish dish or something, and I obviously like I went to the store and I got some like Turkish dishes. There was a Turkish supermarket and I got some Turkish dishes because I didn't want to cook that myself. And then I brought this huge watermelon in case people wanted to still have watermelon. And then I ended up eating half of it because everyone else was eating other foods. And people
Yes.
were just like looking at me like, you're gonna eat that whole watermelon? And I was like, yeah, it tastes delicious. Why not? And I think it just turns into this like comedic thing that you just laugh at the end of the
Yes.
day. And as weird as people see it, that like if we were in nature and, you know, if we didn't have cars and if we didn't have like, you know, mass industrial, you know, production, like all these things, that exists now, like that is what we'd be doing. We'd go and find a watermelon, crack it open and eat the whole thing or something, and or like go find a banana tree and eat like 10 bananas and survive off of that. Like we wouldn't be cooking our foods, we wouldn't be doing anything. Like when you look at it, we're just really aligning back to the way that things need to be in nature, that they are in nature. And when we do that, naturally our body comes back into its natural state of balance, which is the lack of all these diseases, all the skin conditions, all the excess weight potentially. So it's really just aligning back to our natural state of being by turning back to nature. Hi, Sejal. If you have any questions for us, please drop it in the chat. We're going to be answering questions as well.
Yes.
Judith, I just want to ask you, like, if you were to summarize kind of maybe the top 3 things that really helped you heal your eczema and get you through this healing journey, what would they be?
Top 3 things. I think that what's important is that you have to be, you have to decide for yourself that you're doing this. I think the number 1 is a determination. If you're doing it half-heartedly, you're not gonna be able to go fully raw. You know, I think you have to decide this is it, and you're just gonna go for it. And it is possible to heal from eczema. It's definitely possible. But I think that from my experience, you cannot do it on eating, let's say, raw till 4. Some people ate raw food until 4. You have to go full raw vegan for an extended period of time so your body can heal, because our body can naturally heal. If you eat the right. Yes.
What do you mean by raw vegan? Because raw vegan could be quite broad. You could be raw vegan and eating a lot of nuts and seeds. You could be eating just fruit. So do you have any like specific?
Yes, I mean, I didn't do a lot of juice cleanses. Like I said, only the 3 days. And I just drank juice. I still drink a juice a day. That's how I start my day. Either, let's say, carrot, pineapple, ginger. I always put ginger in because for me, I feel like the ginger really helps with my skin always. I feel like it's really detoxing, and carrots as well. People underestimate carrots. I don't know why. And also, I would, yes, I would have a juice, then I would have more fruit, you know, after the juice, like watermelon if it's in season, or any other fruit. And I can mix it as well. And I would have a big salad for lunch. And I will just eat as much as I want. Like if I'm hungry, I will eat. I won't restrict myself at all. And that's how it was from the beginning. That was one of the things that I wanted to mention at the beginning. You have to eat enough. A lot of people don't eat enough. And I also trying to eat as much as I used to eat with the portions. That was, you know, I used to eat the cooked food, for example. It's much smaller portions. At the beginning, your stomach can't take such a large amount of fruit or salad. So it took for me a couple of weeks into that. So I would be hungry like at the beginning every 2 hours. But I don't mind. I decided I'm gonna, without getting worried that I'm gonna put on weight, I'm just gonna eat as much as I want until I'm full. And lo and behold, I actually lost 10 kilograms very easily without having to do anything. I promise you, I didn't even exercise because I was feeling a bit tired from the detox.
Yeah.
So
no
it's definitely,
no nothing, right?
So yes. So I just have a big salad for lunch, then I have fruit, then sometimes I have a small salad for supper, or nice cream in between. You know, I would make that. It's sort of like a frozen smoothie. You'll probably make it as well. You freeze fruit and you would blend it. Like that's my treat for the day. It's like eating ice cream for dessert. So you have to always
the majority of your calories is coming from fruits, right? Like that's what what the majority of what's satiating you is coming from fruits. Amazing.
Yes. Yes. Sorry, I just want to find. I find that sometimes fruits. I get very hungry. After 2-3 hours from fruit if I don't eat enough. So I will either have to eat a lot of fruit, or I will. That's why I have a big salad early lunchtime. I think everybody is different, so you have to find out what works for you. But for me, some days I will just have practically fruit almost the whole day because my body, I listen to my body. So I would do that. But some days I really crave the salad. And for me, I eat nuts and seeds. I eat fruit. I eat greens, and berries, melons. I do eat one or two things like nutritional yeast sometimes in my salad dressing that's not officially raw, or cashews, for example, that's not officially raw, but I count it as raw actually. But yeah, so I would say fruit is definitely the most hydrating, especially now after being raw more than a year. I crave even more fruit. It was almost like your
Yeah,
body needs to go through the transition. Like
yeah,
I eat
yeah.
less salad, like my salads are smaller, and then, sorry, my fruits are huge, the amount.
Yeah, like when your gut adjusts to that, your taste buds get rewired, your cells get rewired to start craving the things that you're naturally meant to be eating, I felt that after my juice cleanse, like all I wanted after a couple of weeks was just like to eat a mango or take a bite out of this one crunchy like watermelon.
Yeah.
That's all I was like thinking of. Yeah, 100%. So just to summarize, like the top three things you'd say is definitely the mental determination, the mental fortitude, and like just having that resilience to pull through. I guess also like being really strict or like being very determined on your why. Like, what is your why?
Yes.
Why are you doing this?
Yes.
Going fully raw vegan, definitely. Cooked foods are more on the acidic side of chemistry. When we cook foods, they lose their water, they lose the natural. Of course, you can add water back to cook foods, but it's not going to be the same thing that nature provides. Nature encapsulates
Yes.
water in the perfect form that your body can utilize. Adding separate water as H2O is not going to be the same thing after you cook foods. So fully raw vegan, diversity of nutrition from both fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, but mainly from fruits. And also eating enough, you said, right?
Eating
So
enough.
definitely I struggled with that. I can really relate. In the beginning I was just eating fruits in the portions that I was used to. So like one apple, and then I'd be wondering why I was hungry by, another hour. Of course I'm gonna be hungry if I eat like one or two apples. Guys, now when I sit down, I'll have like 6 mangoes, maybe 7 if they're like smaller ones. If they're really good, like I can have a whole half of a watermelon. Like eat until, don't think about the calories, don't think about like any of that. You eat until you feel satiated, until it doesn't taste good, it doesn't taste good anymore, like you're done. Eat one meal until it doesn't taste good anymore.
But this is exactly why this diet, or I shouldn't call it, I call it actually more like a lifestyle. That's why I think it's the best for our bodies, because how come we can eat as much as you want? Your body knows exactly how much to get rid of. It's happy. Oh, you're eating 500 more calories. I'm just gonna, eliminate it through your colon, or,
Yeah.
and you have all the energy. And I mean, another thing I want to mention is that also my vertebra, it's like I just feel that it's so much more flexible since I've been eating, especially a lot of hydrating fruits. So like I said to you with the yoga, I can do yoga positions that I've never been able to do, like easily, if I just practice it a bit, because I do yoga every day. So for me, I think that the lifestyle is not just a diet to eat fully raw vegan, but you also have to do some exercise as well, just for to feel good all the time. It's part of your mental clarity and the de-stressing, because stress still affects me, and immediately it affects. I can still feel it sometimes on my skin when I stress. I don't know if you can still feel that as well. So it has to be very conscious, to a conscious living or lifestyle that you have to do, and also do a bit of meditation as well, or any other way to unwind. So the diet by itself isn't always going to solve all your problems. It's just going to help you to accelerate upwards. That's how I see it.
That's very spot on. And I was actually going to ask you, like, are there any other holistic practices aside from the diet? You've mentioned the meditations and I guess regulating yourself, regulating your nervous system. That's a huge part. Is there anything aside from that that you holistically practice. It could be physical, mental, or emotional that, you know, has helped you on your healing journey.
Yes. I think that it might not be exactly the answer to your question, but I laugh a lot more since I'm not in so much pain. If somebody that suffers from eczema knows how that can be, that you always feel almost like irritated inside and you don't want to show it because your skin is flaring up, or, you know, then you just realize an hour went past and you'll be laughing at some cat or dog video or something like that. You know, and your mood and everything lifts, you know. And yes, and it's thanks to the obviously the lifestyle, the raw vegan lifestyle. And sorry, I actually lost the track with your question. What were you asking? Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You can answer. Just asking, are there any other holistic practices that you incorporated on your healing journey?
Yes. I don't do so much cardio anymore. I don't crave it. I crave more, you know, I can feel it. Like, let's say I would drive somewhere and the traffic is really hectic, then I feel that my energy is not aligned. Then I can feel the difference now after I've been raw vegan. You know, your body is so much more clearer to talking to you. And then if I do a session of yoga, then I know the yoga just fixes me. I feel so good, the energy is moving, you know, or meditate a little bit. Or while I'm working, I would listen to meditation music, and that would lift me up. So for me, those are the practices that I don't do anything like skin brushing. I haven't tried that. A lot of people try that. I haven't tried that. I don't put any creams on my skin except the same cream that I've been putting on. It's just a basic like moisturizer type of cream that's like really basic that I've been doing, that I know that works for me. Trying to minimize the makeup use because that also affects my skin. You know, the toxins in the makeup, unless you can get a really good quality makeup. And my hair products, I just use very natural health hair products because I can also, you know, that I don't know how was your eczema, but that also affected my, if I would dye my hair, my skin previously I would ooze maybe or something like that from my skin in my head. So it was really bad. So I'm trying to, obviously, I learned it over the years how to cope with eczema, but now, since you're kind of free from that, I still don't go back and dye my hair because I know that's a lot of chemicals as well.
Yeah, exactly. And anything you put on your skin, you're also absorbing. So
exactly.
Ideally, you don't want to be putting anything on your skin that you wouldn't be comfortable eating, you know, because it absorbs, it comes back into your lymphatic system, which is where all of that toxin starts to stagnate. And by the way, just to clarify, I myself haven't struggled with eczema previously. I did have some dryness in my hands during the winter, but I mostly struggled from PCOS and cystic acne. So that's what I ended up healing, like as I transitioned to a raw food style. But my mom struggled with eczema, and I helped her. She did 2 juice cleanses.
Oh wow!
15 days each.
Amazing.
She did a 15-day one, took a week off, and did another 15-day one. And she's almost 60 years old. So it was
congratulations
a huge
to her.
Thank you. Hi, Interlux. Guys, if you have any questions, by the way, feel free to ask us. Otherwise, Judith, it's been a real pleasure talking to you. If anyone wants to find you, if anyone wants to reach out to you, where can they do that? Maybe I did see that you had some resources to help people be successful in a raw food diet. Yeah, maybe elaborate on where people can find you.
Yes, thank you so much. It was amazing chatting to you. It's so nice to talk to like-minded people because where I live, nobody is raw vegan. It's just like I'm the only one in this big, you know, surroundings. So it's always nice to chat to like-minded people. It's nice to connect. And I just love it. Thank you so much. And you can find me at Conscious Living 315. That's my my Instagram handle. And I do have a YouTube. I'm trying to also build that. And also on what is the other platform now? I forgot the other
TikTok,
platform's name.
maybe?
Yeah, TikTok. Yes, TikTok. And I also have a TikTok account, the same name, Conscious Living 315. And you can, at my Instagram link, you will find that I've written a book about how to dream your future into your existence. And I published this book on Amazon. So if you'd like to read it, you're welcome to download it.
I'm
And
really
yeah,
curious.
so
I got chills from that title. It
yes,
literally just gave me goosebumps.
yes. That was a couple of
Amazing.
years ago, actually. I wrote that in 2020.
Beautiful.
But I think it ties in with my journey with the raw vegan lifestyle as well, because I think everything just links together for me spiritually and, metaphysically into eating, how you're eating, like we discussed earlier, that your energy is lighter when you eat such hydrating things, not the cooked foods. And yeah, so yes, you can find my book link in that link at the Instagram profile. And I'm working on a video course that I'm gonna do just to be able to transition into raw vegan lifestyle, and I'm just busy with that at the
Beautiful.
moment.
Well,
And
you're
thank you so
busy
much.
with amazing things. Thank you. Thank you for coming on here.
It's a
Thank you for
pleasure.
being a beacon of inspiration for people that need to hear it, that are wanting to make that difference in their life, make those changes. I think these are great testimonials for people to really hear and give them hope and be successful and just keep them going when, they might be feeling like they want to give up and are done with this. And yeah, you know how it can be, like it could feel
Yeah,
sometimes. So these are really, really beautiful stories and source of inspiration to share. So thank you for sharing your journey.
it's a
And if
pleasure.
anyone is currently struggling with any skin conditions like acne, eczema, rosacea, psoriasis, anything, you can reach out to me to get my skin detox guide. It's completely for free, and it has all the steps that you can take to heal your skin forever and live completely free of these things, which is really your birthright, right? So you can take all of those steps. It's completely within your power. And if you want that, then just comments under this live or just in the chat, you can comment the word skin and we'll have that to you.
And would you like to also share what you do? Do you do a one-on-one sessions? Because I'm also going to share it with my followers. This video, that's the live video, and you can just tell us who do you work with? I see that you only work with women usually as your clients,
I
right?
work with,
Okay.
of course, I also like if men want to work with me, that's also fine. But I predominantly do work with women. And I coach them through a 3-month program where we gradually transition you to a lifestyle that caters for skin health, that allows for the inflammation to be detoxed out of your body, for the stagnant waste that's causing these skin inflammations to be detoxed out of your body. And over the course of those 3 months, we get you to a point where you're so cleansed that you can tolerate the foods that you love normally. If you do want to go back to, cook foods or maintain kind of a more balanced diet, you can tolerate them without it blowing back on your skin. So that's the goal that I help my clients with. And I do that through a 3-month one-on-one coaching program.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. I'm sure you do an awesome job, because I see you've got a lot of testimonies from your clients, and it's great.
It's something I always wanted to do ever since I discovered this lifestyle. So it's truly like living the dream, I guess, right now. And Alex, I'll send you my guide. Thanks for asking for that. But if there are any other questions, otherwise, guys, feel free to shoot. Otherwise, it's been a great pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
That's a pleasure, and we can do this again. You can also come on my channel, and then you can talk about your journey as well, and we can share some new questions.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it 100%.
Thank you so much, Esra.
Thank you. Thanks to everyone who's watching.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.